Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. So we're going to begin here with this article on U.Today, and it's titled Ripple to Help Bank of England Build CBDC. Here's why it may be so. So if you actually have been keeping up with things, you will see that in the document released by the Bank of England, they reference Ripple. Obviously, XRP is used for interbank payments. Obviously, if they want to use the escrow ability of the XRPL, then you can only use XRP. I showed you that. To have what they call to utilize the payment channels feature, you can also only use XRP. It doesn't matter what assets you issued, you have to use XRP. So you have XRP at the crux of almost everything that Ripple is doing. So this is a major happening here. And I said this before, as we go deeper into 2023 and banks are inching closer and closer to issuing CBDCs, a lot of these bigger banks, you're going to see them working, in my humble opinion, with Ripple, Stellar, Quant, the bank coins, you know, the best of the best. I know a lot of the smaller banks, many of them might have experimented with consensus and such, but you're going to see more and more bank coin announcements and references to bank coins like this. So let's read this little tidbit here. It says on February the 7th, Bank of England released a document on the digital version pound of sterling, the UK's digital currency. Sharing the link via its Twitter handle, curiously, it has mentioned, curiously, I don't know why you would say that. Why is it curious when you have hundreds of banks signed up to use XRP? Not only just, public and private banks, like commercial banks, central banks, just like you just saw the central bank of what was that? What was the place? Montenegro, saying they were going to be using Ripple. Now you're seeing the Bank of England say that they're working on a project with Ripple. Same thing. I don't know why you would say curiously. Maybe you're not up to date on the hundreds of financial institutions XRP has signed up, or Ripple has signed up to use XRP. But let's continue on here. It says, curiously, it has mentioned Ripple in it, although without naming XRP. They don't need to name XRP when XRP is at the crux of interbank payments. The crux of interbank payments. A patent for on-demand liquidity. Like I said, a lot of these writers, they begrudgingly write about XRP because a lot of people hate XRP. So it's going to get big views. So you have to understand the energy that certain writers put into articles. Yes, they want the money. They're going to get big views if you write about Ripple and XRP, but they don't like it. A lot of them, I'm not saying this one is, a lot of them are Bitcoin supporters. And unfortunately, a lot of Bitcoin supporters, as well as a lot of XRP supporters, happen to be very tribalistic. They only want that one to succeed and the other to fail. So what I'm saying is, I think a little bit of that energy is making it into this article, because I don't know why you would say curiously when XRP has hundreds upon hundreds of financial institutions just already signed up. And that's not counting the ones that the head of SBI Remit, another large financial institution, said that there were countless hundreds waiting on the side to get in. So that's not curious at all. That's actually that's confirmation, real confirmation of what we've been hearing. Let's continue on here. Bank of England is working on CBDC, that we know. Thus, the Bank of England and the UK Treasury are planning to create a CBDC to digital pound. They hope users can begin benefiting from its users, but it says by the end of this decade, as that would push out banknotes and coins from circulation. That's not true as either. CBDCs are meant to be. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what they say. It's meant to be complementary to cash, not to eliminate cash, not to replace it. Legal tender, especially in the West where you have certain laws. I don't know about the UK, but I know United States, you have to have a solid form of legal tender. That's law. I believe that's law, right? So it's not meant to replace it. See, things like this tell me that maybe some people don't do their research before they write articles. But let's continue on here. And I understand, because like I said, there's a segment that hates CBDCs. I get it. I understand. I know. I see who's behind it. That doesn't mean that the people on the bottom, the people that are looking for generational wealth, can't profit from that. The same way that people go to work at these big companies out here, and these big companies do terrible things in the world, but you're still going to get a paycheck from them. You're still going to do business with them. You're still going to sell on their digital websites. They're not doing a lot of good for the world. So it's the same thing with CBDCs. Although some may hate it, people are going to make a huge generational wealth profit. And those people can take that money, just like the money from your jobs and the money from your businesses that you have to do business with a lot of other industries that don't do a lot of good, and you take that and you use that for good. You're transforming that energy. You're taking that energy in the form of currency, and you get the opportunity to transform that into whatever you want. Build something beautiful, have a farm, raise your own food, purify your own water, raise your people, whoever that might be, to be honorable, noble, whatever you want to do. You have the capital to actually do it instead of, just scraping by through life, missing every opportunity because, it came from this source. Everything can be transmuted. Everything can be transformed. It's up to you if you want to transform it or not. You have that power to change the energy of things, to change the energy of your mind, as well as those things in your environment. So I don't come from that way of thinking where things are limited and they're put in a box. No, I feel like I can transform things. I've seen it with my own ability. I'm only speaking for myself. So anyway, but I understand where that energy comes from, where some people hate CBDCs and those who want to profit from CBDCs, as well as the companies that are profiting from CBDCs and such like that. So but I see. Let's continue on here. It says to the Bank of England also wants to keep its CBDC from being created by a private big tech company, so that these CBDC payments do not end up within only a closed private network. Now they're talking about retail. Of course, they're straddling here between wholesale and retail, of course. She says to protect the UK's financial system from becoming unstable as the CBDC would be introduced, Parliament decided to limit the number of digital pounds stored within a single wallet. They've been doing this all across the world, so that we know. It says Ripple gets mentioned. Here's what it is about. Bank of England's consultation paper mentions Ripple, crypto giant. It mentioned that the bank and Ripple have a joint project. That's what I read also, with Ripple, which is about, and the reason I say that is because sometimes people will take a little piece from a PDF or a transcript, and they will completely just mutilate whatever it was said in it. But this was pretty accurate here. So this is pretty good so far. It says have a quote joint project with Ripple, which is about synchronized FX transfers located in two different simulated RTGS systems. That's huge. Huge. Do you see where all this is going? What is an RTGS system before we continue with this little article here? Real-time gross settlement. And RTGS, and this is why I said they're straddling the fence. Sorry about that. I kind of break up my thoughts sometimes. This is why I said they're straddling the fence in that article between talking about retail payments and talking about wholesale. RTGS system is generally used for large interbank fund transfers. Didn't I tell you the crux of what XRP does is interbank payments? The low end, $400,000 to $500,000. The top end, north of $1 million per transfer. That's a lot of money from central banks that they're going to bring consistent value and volume. What do you think is going to do to that price? There is no other asset right now that has as many banks signed up as XRP. Quant has the potential, but they got to actualize on that. But they have the potential because of SIA and Nexi and the European Central Bank that they're working with, right? Well, SIA is working with the European Central Bank, but you know that SIA has a partnership with Quant. You do the math. What do you think is going to do to that price? So then you understand why I say things like $15 to $20, $30 to $40. It could go way beyond that if they're going to be doing this. This is a major announcement. That means we need to start shoring up our calculations a little bit more. They're letting you know that. Let's go back here. It says used for large value interbank funds transfers operated and organized by a country's central bank. Then we go back to the article. What does it say? It says they want Ripple. It says they're working on a project with Ripple, which is about synchronized FX transfers located in two different RTGS systems. What other asset do you know that has anything written about it like this? With this certainty, this is coming from the Bank of England itself. Sorry about that. It's coming from the Bank of England itself, but you get what I'm saying. Because so many people will still come in and they will, just crap all over XRP, crap on Ripple, and anybody else building on XRP, and anybody that believes in XRP when we're getting factual documents telling you what they're going to be doing, just like we had with Algorand, Italy Central Bank told you what they're going to do, right? Just like we got with Stellar, with Bankhaus Vonderhate. They told you what they want to do with Stellar. And of course, the Ukrainian financial system as well. This is huge. I don't know what else to say. Let's continue. Let's continue on. But it's like week after week, we're hearing about more banks, more banks. To think that XRP is not like is not either the number one coin right now, number one project, at least up there. XRP, Stellar, Algorand, they can all interchange depending on what they're doing. They're all making huge surges forward. I mean, that spot, they're up there. They're like the trinity right now of coins. Simple as that. And Quant is getting up there. I'll say that. Quant is getting up there close to that level. They're all bank coins. But they're all going to go to different levels. But those three are up there with their activities. My word. Okay, so now let's move on to this next article here. This is released today, and it's called Complete Nonsense, quote unquote. Ripple CTO schools BSV, Bitcoin SV supporter in debate about Bitcoin developers. So let's see what this is all about. Maybe we will get a little bit more information and clarity on BSV. So it says here, in a recent Twitter exchange, Ripple CTO David Schwartz and Bitcoin SV supporter Jerry David Chan engaged in a heated debate about the responsibility of Bitcoin developers. Okay. Let's keep in mind also that no one's word is law, but we try to hear individuals out, and we take, and if there's any wisdom to be gleaned, we take that and use that to the best of our ability. It says the discussion was prompted by a lawsuit brought by self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright against prominent Bitcoiners, which was recently deemed to have serious merit by the UK Court of Appeals. Chan argued that Bitcoin developers should have consulted a lawyer and that ignorance is not a defense in a situation where software handles billions of dollars. Schwartz, on the other hand, maintained that developers were merely advocating the code they wrote through an open and public dialogue, and that the notion of imposing liability on them for making arguments in an important debate was complete nonsense. That I could agree with. It says, quote, what you are arguing caused people to be locked out or lose funds is the outcome of a public debate over what code Bitcoin nodes should run. This is an attempt to impose liability on people for making particular arguments to the public on an important issue, Schwartz tweeted. Wright's lawsuit alleges that developers owe him fiduciary duties. Wow. Under English law, we covered a little bit about this before. English law and stems from his claim that he lost billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin in the Mt. Gox hack. All right. The legal showdown has raised questions about the role of court orders and public debate in the development of the blockchain community. Schwartz has referred to Wright's attempt to use the courts to compel developers to advocate for his position as violent and grotesque. That we read before. I agree with David Schwartz in everything that he just iterated. This is ridiculous, and hopefully things will turn out well in this so that we don't see more of this happening with other projects. All right, so now let's move on here. We have a little bit of Stellar news. Danelle Dixon tweeted this out here, and it says, we release our 2023 strategic roadmap with a clear focus on taking action. Our commitment to equitable access to finance and real-world solutions remains strong. Dive in below. Number 2, our roadmap has 3 building blocks that will guide our path forward in supporting and growing the Stellar network, ecosystem, and community. Number 1, make innovation easy and scalable. I love that because it's going to bring in more businesses, make it easier for people to build, and it will help Stellar continue to spread at an exponential rate. So that's very good. Number 2, win over builders. Right now there's a war over developers, bringing developers in. There's not enough. There's not enough brilliant and aware blockchain minds. This is why a lot of the different bank coins are providing courses in the universities now to assist people to learn how to build so we can develop more developers, right? And bring them in. So yes, this is good to make more of an effort to win over builders. Excellent. I want to see more businesses coming in, more businesses utilizing Stellar. This is always good. Number 3, it says, focus on utility to build trust. Exactly. Utility. Bring it all forward. Let the businesses see why they would benefit from Stellar a little bit more than you did in the past. Let the banks see, let the large financial institutions, non-banking financial institutions see why Stellar is the absolute best and the easiest to issue any asset on. Okay, that brings more value, more volume, you know, all that good stuff. So this is very good so far. So what Stellar is pretty much saying here is we're looking to dominate in 2023. We're looking to level up, step our level up. I love every little bit of this. It says here, number 3, my hope is that by the end of 2023, the Stellar ecosystem will raise the bar. Woo, that's powerful words, and deliver even more real world solutions. And that SDF's focus on utility as the growth exponent will enhance those efforts. Number 4, transparency and accountability are important to SDF. Read the full details of our 2023 roadmap and follow along our journey through our quarterly reports and webinars. Then they have a little link here to stellar.org, which most people are already following. And most of us get the email also with the updates and such like that. So, but if you're not and you're a Stellar enthusiast, definitely do that. It's very good information that they provide. So this is good stuff to hear, in my humble opinion. So now let's go here. We have this little article here on this is on beincrypto.com. Let's see what they have to say. They wrote a stellar article. I support everybody who writes stellar articles. We don't get enough. Stellar, Algorand, Hedera, pretty much all the bank coins except for XRP. They don't get enough light. They don't get the shine enough, right? There's not a lot of articles written about them. This is on beincrypto.com, and it says here, Stellar, XLM price still looking strong despite stalling last week. So let's just read this little tidbit here, okay? It says the Stellar XLM price could soon break out from its short-term pattern and reach the 10-cent long-term resistance area. XLM is the native token of Stellar Network. Stellar aims to become a financial systems payment network. Not aimed, it is becoming that. It's becoming a global system right now. It says that focuses on underdeveloped portions of the world. Why do they always say that? They're doing both. They're getting money from the bottom and at the top. They're moving money from the bottom at the top. They're helping people from the bottom to the top. That's what Stellar's doing. Because Stellar, yes, they're doing a lot of retail payments and setting up corridors around the world. But they're also working with the banks as well. You have to have both. You have to connect both. And they've been doing that very, very well. You see what they're doing with the United Nations? You see what they're doing with the bank in Ukraine? You see what they're doing with the oldest bank in Europe, Bankhaus Vanderheit? Right? If you went to their website lately, you see that they're trying to go fully digital. And it's looking pretty good. Right? All right. So, you know, I try to keep that in mind. A lot of people are unaware of that. The Stellar is getting money from the top and the bottom. But let's continue on here. It says, however, the price has not reached the 10-cent resistance area or descending resistance line in place since May 2021. If the price gets there, the area could cause a rejection. On the other hand, of course, you have to go the other way. There's both possibilities. A decisive close above it would confirm the long-term bullish trend reversal. Okay, we're going to stop there. But if you want to read the rest of this, they have some nice charts on here. They have another section titled Stellar Price Consolidation Could Lead to Breakout. They have a lot of good stuff in this little article here. It's on beincrypto.com if you want to see the rest, okay? Now, let's move on to this next article here. So this article is from Cointelegraph.com. It's about Algorand, of course. And like I said, I love it when we get the other bank coins having articles written about them and they get to shine. They've all been doing a fantastic job. It says this, Algorand to drive Web3 adoption in India. They've been doing a lot of different great things around the world. Algorand has. And they've been helping people. That's why I said Algorand is the people's coin right now. Algorand and Ripple have done the most for people on the ground, helping the children, helping people in needy environments and such. I like it and I respect that. And they've done that in India. They had a program that was on Algorand where they fed like millions of children in India. Who else can say that? They are the people's coin. Here we go again. They're back in India. Let's see what they have to say here. It says Algorand has partnered with several educational institutions and schools to create programs for faculty members, students, and businesses looking to jump into Web3. I got to clap it up. I love it. I love when people honor their word. Right now, in my humble opinion, Algorand is the most honorable and the best overall bank coin blockchain there is. They're the most balanced. That's a fact. And they're helping. And along the way, they haven't forgot to help the people on the bottom like they said they would. And they didn't even start out being the people's coin. I'm saying they're the people's coin. They've helped the most, millions. So now people are going to be able to get educated and use Web3 in India, which their economy is growing exponentially, very quickly. And there's going to be a lot of, business is going pretty good in India as well. So, and that's only going to increase. So now Algorand's bringing Web3 easeability of use of Web3 and development to them. It says here, Algorand Foundation announced several partnerships in India, including collaborations with schools to develop educational programs to help grow Web3 in the country. In an announcement sent to Cointelegraph, the Algorand team said it partnered with Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, and the Indian School of Business to launch educational programs. This includes programs for faculty development and student developer training. This is what we need everywhere around the world, but this is a great step. And I'm not saying Algorand needs to do everything, not at all. All of the bank coins and all the other crypto that take themselves seriously need to start helping and assisting in developing Web3, developing this new world, so to speak, that everybody will have to interface with. But let's continue on. It says, this includes programs for faculty development and student developer training. Additionally, the firm will host a master class, for businesses looking to dive into Web3 space. Haven't I been saying this the whole time? Instead of people just holding crypto, holding coins, many people out there have small businesses or medium-sized businesses. A few people have big businesses. But instead of just holding crypto, use the system to benefit. Well, I can't tell you what to do. This is not financial advice, but I'm saying it would be wise to use the systems to benefit yourself, save some money, get in deep with Web3 before everyone else. Make your business automated. I mean, there's so many different things, especially now. Didn't I say last year AI was going to be big? I predicted AI and quantum computing would be big, and they are huge this year. Here's the thing that was interesting. The little twist is that AI is viewed positively. That's questionable to me. But if you view positively, you see ChatGPT, Midjourney, Blue Willow, Dream.ai, all these AI systems now being utilized by people. You have that. So now with that, it's even easier to automate things for your business. Advertising, blog post, everything is automated. It can be automated now. I would not trust that 100%, honestly. I like to do things hands-on, but people are using that. While quantum computing is viewed negatively because it's a threat to certain crypto code, or just especially it's a threat to legacy system coding. It can just easily hack those types of things and cause problems. So everyone's quantum proofing. Algorand is quantum proof. I think Hedera is also quantum proof, I believe. So that's interesting how they're both viewed. But yeah, people can utilize. It's easy to use and build on the blockchain right now, easier than before, especially now with AI and such. And just my humble opinion and from what I've seen. I could be wrong, right? Everyone is different. So now let's move on to this next article here. This one here is from Hedera. And this was from yesterday, actually, but I didn't get a chance to report on it. This is about Dell. It says here, this is from CoinDesk. It says, Dell Tech has become a member of Hedera Governing Council to decentralize applications to help its customers with their blockchain and Web3 related ventures. I don't know why they say blockchain. Of course, I believe Hedera could definitely help them with their blockchain capabilities, but Hedera is Hashgraph. Let's get that straight. It's distributed ledger technology, but it's not blockchain. It's Hashgraph. Hashgraph is superior by far. Look it up. By far superior to blockchain. And that's why a lot of those banks, you saw those banks coming in? Those banks coming in using Hedera last year, it was like one bank after another. They were testing it. No guarantees. We'll see how that works out in the future. But that's why, because they have such an advanced technology. That's what Dell is looking at right now. So this is very good. Very good. That's one more possible large business and all of their different partners using Hedera. Possibly. We'll see how all of this works out in the end. So now let's go here. I wanted to just cover this little piece about Quant, right? Because I get so many comments about Quant now. And I just wanted to show you. So I showed you where Quant has a partnership with SIA. All right. Now keep that in mind. Then I showed you in one of the last videos that SIA has a partnership with the European Central Bank. That's interbank payments. That's huge money. European Central Bank. Now, the first question I would ask is how much money does the central bank, or how much value rather, right? Capital value, whatever, does the European Central Bank have? Here's what it says here. I typed in on Google, how much money does a European central bank have? This is their reserves. Let's just take that. Their reserves, 526 billion euro, right? It says, including gold. It says, okay, so they separated the two here. It says 40 billion euro directly, 340 billion euro. It says Euro system, including gold, 150 billion euro Forex reserves. That is a lot of money. If Quant ever even moves a modicum of that, and there's a reason SIA partnered with them, and there's a reason SIA partnered with the European Central Bank. If Quant even moves a modicum of it, that amount, what does it do to that price? I keep open the possibility that they can move all of that amount, but what if they move a modicum of that? You see how Quant's price reacts to retail? You imagine a few billion, consistent interbank payment volume. So I just wanted to put that out there. 526 billion euro in reserves, and SIA has a partnership with them to build out their digital infrastructure. Look it up. I showed it in the last video, but you can look it up for yourself. It's better for you to see with your own eyes and read the articles with your own eyes. Then you make up your own mind about how you feel about that. I know what I feel. Definitely do. So now let's go here. Just a little update very quickly, because we have to keep up with all of these different central banks that are building on the on the distributed ledger technologies. And it gives us an idea about where mass adoption is right now. So this is from cryptodaily.co.uk, all right? And it's titled Sberbank. We've covered them before. Sberbank will launch DeFi platform, Crypto Daily TV. All right, now, we covered that before, but here's the important part. They're giving us dates now. They're giving us time, and time to look at where this could be actualized and released. That's what's important here. Let's read this little tidbit. It says, Russia's largest bank is about to launch DeFi platform. Sberbank, Russia's largest bank, is set to launch an Ethereum-based decentralized finance platform by May. Do you really believe they're going to stay with Ethereum? I don't think so. I don't think so. And they're probably doing this through consensus. I'm going to assume. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not consensus. But everyone who has tried to build on Ethereum, not everyone, I remember maybe one or two banks, their projects didn't work out. One was in India and then one was in the Bahamas. Remember that? And then I know the one in India switched from consensus, I believe. They said that they weren't going to be using them. I don't remember what happened to the one in the Bahamas, but they were down for a long time. Remember we covered that article where their system was down off of some sort of error or something like that. Anyway, and consensus could have retooled everything, and everything could be much better. So maybe things are better now and they could actually build on it. I'm just going by what I know used to be true. I haven't updated myself on consensus, so let me put that out there to be fair. So it says here, but I believe they'll switch. Sberbank's platform will allow users access to MetaMask wallet extension, which is a popular tool for cryptocurrency transactions as well as non-fungible token purchases. Then let's scroll down here. Okay, so maybe I glossed over it, but it said Sberbank is set to launch an Ethereum-based decentralized finance platform by May. There you have it. So in May, let's be on the lookout for this. We'll see how it works out. We'll be able to observe it, and maybe they'll have some good information on it about what it's going to, how it's going to function, how it's going. Did it go well? Are they going to switch? Things like that. Because I think that the bank coins will be doing all of this in the long run. Why would you want to deal with the slow transaction speeds of Ethereum on any level? Why would you also want to deal with the high fees and such? I just don't see them using something like that for long term. But let's move on here. So we have this article here. It's from beingcrypto.com, and it's titled SEC 2023 Priorities, including scrutiny of crypto assets and emerging technologies. And it says here, the division will examine broker-dealers and registered investment advisors, RIAs, that use fintech under this category. This includes implementing new technologies for handling investor accounts. Wow, they're just giving everybody a hard time at this point. How anyone supports the SEC at this point, I just will never understand. It says, the release stated, quote, examinations of registrants will focus on the offer sale recommendation of, wow, or advice regarding trading in crypto or crypto related assets. How many people do you think that's going to chase off? You know, they have a thriving business, they're reputable, and then they hear something like this. Man, this SEC, who is behind them? Because a lot of portions of the government are pro crypto, but then you have like these rogue entities like we've been covering for a long time. And it's just amazing. Whoever's behind them is definitely powerful, and they want to hold the people back. Everyone knows that there's going to be an explosion in growth and prosperity when crypto takes over, when DLTs, for a better word, sorry about that, take over. Everyone's going to rise, and if someone doesn't want that to happen. So the agency division aims to ensure that the RIA meets and adheres to its underlying standards of care. Therefore, the companies will, they say this without issuing clarity on crypto in any kind of way and saying what the crypto companies have to come into compliance with. Keep that in mind. They've issued no clarity. There's no regulations. They've only been suing people and taking money. That's it. That's all they've been doing. Suing companies. Sorry about that. Therefore, the companies will be under the radar. Look at this. While making recommendations. This is a threat. While making recommendations, making referrals, or giving financial advice. Then people will come and ask and say, hey, why hasn't why haven't the bank coins gone off yet? Because all the institutions are scared to death. The head of LBRY told you all that. In their own quote, they said that financial institutions and businesses are frightened or scared to death. One of those ways, I'm paraphrasing, are scared to death of the SEC. And it has slowed down adoption because of that. And they're not the only ones who have said that. And I definitely concur. Nobody wants to fight the SEC. They're just going to take it into a battle of attrition. They're going to drain your money and destroy your business. So there are a lot of financial institutions and regular businesses are not willing to step in just yet. That's one of the biggest holdups right now. Look at this threat. This is one of the reasons why. It says it will also be scanned if the firm periodically reviewed, updated, and improved its compliance. Wow. Disclosure and risk management policies. I'm not going to read the rest of this. It's so negative. And it's definitely a threat to companies to keep them out, to slow the growth of crypto so they can squeeze a little bit more money out of the dying legacy system. That's all this is about. All right, everyone, let's end off here with a little bit of silver news. We'll do some gold news tomorrow. All right. Appreciate every single one of you being here. It's from abcbullion.com.au. And it says here, 5 reasons for adding silver to your investment portfolio. Okay, so let's read this a little tidbit here. It says outperformance in precious metals. In precious metal bull markets, silver tends to outperform gold in precious metal bull markets. This can be seen in the chart below, which shows the 5 largest precious metal bull markets of the last 5 decades. Holy smokes, wow. They're right. They're not telling any fibs, no lies, right? Remember, this is on abcbullion.com.au if you want to see all of this, okay? Got to leave a little bit so you guys, some people may want to actually check out the article here. The best precious metal to hedge inflation. In high inflation environments, gold has delivered average annual gains of 15%. For silver, the number is 18% per annum. Woo! Correlation to rising stock market. Silver has varied sources of industrial demand. This means silver often performs well when the economy is growing and the stock market is rising. This can be seen in the chart below, which shows the performance of stocks, gold, silver in the years. In years, the stock market goes up. All right, so I'm going to leave the last 2 unread. Like I said, abcbullion.com.au if you want to read the rest of this here. This is very, very good. But we know all the real reasons why silver has the possibility of exploding in the future. In my personal opinion, it has everything to do with silver being a great conductor and being used in all of those electric vehicles they're about to massively push on everyone around the world. It already has begun in the solar panels, solar batteries. My goodness, there's not enough silver to go around. Theoretically speaking, that price will go up because of that, right? So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.